And Sue, if we think about this collaboration to date and bringing together the focus, the thought leadership, the collaboration, knowledge share, being willing to try with the experiments as part of this journey, which isn't complete yet, what's next for this group and for SWP, and what are your expected outcomes?
Yeah, I guess, you know, from the start, all of the working groups have been clear that they're trying to produce something that's eminently practical and usable. You know, it isn't a theoretical exercise or just a chance to take away a few good ideas. It is a committed piece of work to actually build a practical guide in strategic workforce planning's terms that's an end-to-end guide, from strategy to process to methodology to toolkit. You know, we're trying to build this practical, usable guide to strategic workforce planning, and something that could be applicable, as Viv and Martin have referenced, to all elements of the workforce of the future. So where the group has got to now, and where it's focusing on this year, is having worked on its cluster groups, it's now fined down into areas where it really wants to tackle some of those practical issues that have come up as it's attempted to experiment or apply some of the thinking that's come out of the group. So, for example, one of the subgroups this year will focus on the new operating model for strategic workforce planning that the group has designed and looked to put into practice. But now what they're focusing on is actually, what does it take to actually get working and to sustain across functional approach to strategic workforce planning. So we're, you know, homing in on the practical issues that we've experienced as we've approached some of our thinking. One of the other work streams is now looking at the application of strategic workforce planning to areas such as, for example, the employee value proposition. You know, how does a more strategic approach add value to the attraction and retention, etc., of different employee segments or employee groups. And one of the third areas is looking now at the practical implementation of SWP 2.0 and getting away from making it, as ever, an industry and putting it into practice. How do we get traction around this new approach without making it an industry? So these are some of the things that the group is actually working on this year, in actually to move things forward and to continue to get value from the collaboration.